Very interesting texture to them. Congratulations, folks. Those of y'all touching those leaves have just been introduced to South Texas poison ivy. Now we make our next right-hand turn. On my right, y'all can see the statue of St. Anthony de Padua. St. Anthony was the patron saint of the country of Portugal. And this statue was a gift to the people of San Antonio by the Portuguese at the close of our World's Fair in 1968. Now the date I want you to remember is June 13th, 1691. And in the Catholic calendar, that happened to be the feast day of St. Anthony. There's also a day a bunch of Spanish explorers arrived here on the shores of the river. And with those explorers was a Catholic priest by the name of Father Damien Massenet. And when Father Massenet arrived here on the shores of the river, he's credited with saying the very first Catholic Mass here in town. Now because it was the feast day of St. Anthony, during the middle of that Mass, Father Massenet paused. And to honor St. Anthony, he named this river St. Anthony's River. Of course, folks, he did it in Spanish. It came out Rio San Antonio. And the name stuck, and the city later took its name from the river. That's how our city got its name. But little did Father Massenet know this river already had a name. The local Payaya Indians had named this river Yanaguana, and in their language that means cool, clear waters. Now to my right to the trees, y'all can see the St. Joseph's Catholic Church. Built in 1868, the first church built in San Antonio after the Battle of the Alamo. It was built by the local Germans here in town because they wanted a place where they could worship in German. And still to this day, there's a monthly Mass in that church in German, as well as they host the men's chorale group known as the Liederkranz, who also sing in the church once a month in German. Now this tall building over here to my left is the Hilton Palacio del Rio Hotel. When you take a look at it, you think it looks like a bunch of blocks stacked one on top of the other. You'd be absolutely right. The Hilton Corporation had a very tight timeline to get this hotel built in time for the World's Fair in '68, telling the contractors who were bidding on the job that it had to be completed in 9 months. Well, most of those contractors thought 9 months was way too fast for a 500-room hotel. Except local construction company H.B. Zachary wanted to prove they could do it. What H.B. Zachary did, they built the first 4 floors and the elevator shafts right here on site. And while they were doing that, each one of those 500 rooms were being built in a factory 8 miles south of downtown. And when those rooms were ready, they were put on a flatbed trailer, hauled to the street in front of the hotel, lifted into place by crane. And all they had to do was hook up the plumbing and the electrical, and those rooms were ready for occupancy. That's because when those rooms left the factory, they were totally furnished. The beds were made, the towels were hanging in the bathroom. Even the Gideon's Bible was in the nightstand. H.B. Zachary figured if they could haul about 10 rooms a day into place, they could finish this room finish the hotel in 9 months. Well, folks, they got so good at hauling rooms, they were hauling 35 rooms a day. And they finished this hotel in a grand total of 202 days. That's 1 week shy of 7 months. And that put H.B. Zachary in the Guinness Book of World Records for the fastest hotel of this size ever completed. And now you can see what I was talking about. The first 4 floors, the restaurants, the ballrooms, the meeting spaces, lobby, floors 5 on up of the rooms, and there's the elevator shafts in the middle.
Ang origin. Hindi ko lobe. See, así después de la
Now this area in front of us is known as La Villita. That's Spanish for little village. Originally settled in 1722, essentially San Antonio's first neighborhood. Settled mainly by Spanish and German immigrants, those folks brought with them their own forms of architecture. That's apparent as you stroll through the streets of La Villita. Currently in La Villita, you'll find artist galleries, restaurants, shops, and a church. And La Villita was also the location of General Santa Anna's cannon line during his attack on the Alamo Now, the Riverwalk itself was constructed in 1935 to 1939. And the gentleman in charge of construction was an engineer by the name of Edwin Arneson. Mr. Arneson, well, this theater right here is named in his honor. This is the Arneson River Theater, sitting for about 800 people on my left. Now, if you look over here to my right to the stage, this stage happens to be a movie star. Can anyone tell me what movie this stage starred in?
Oh, yeah.
Miss Congeniality is right. Starring Sandra Bullock and William Shatner. Now here to my left is the Briscoe Western Art Museum. Named after, I'm sorry, over here to my right is the Briscoe Art Museum. Named after former Texas governor and his wife Dolphin Janie Briscoe. They live just west of San Antonio in the small town of Uvalde. Now inside this museum you'll find a fantastic collection of Western artwork, as well as Pancho Villa's last known saddle, General Santa Ana saber, and a rebuilt Wells Fargo stagecoach. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Tuesdays, admission from 4 o'clock on tonight is free. So from right now it's free. The river we're coming through now used to be part of the training grounds for Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders were formed here in San Antonio. More specifically, they were recruited out of the bar of the Menger Hotel, right next door to the Alamo. As a personal note, my great-grandfather was a Rough Rider, recruited out of that bar. But how they ever got that man out of the bar, I'll never know. Now, if you remember, as we passed the statue of St. Anthony, I told you about Father Massonet saying that first Mass. The location of that Mass was right here to my right, and it's marked by that wrought iron sculpture known as Father Massonet's Table. Father Massonet's Table sits on this little heart-shaped piece of land known as Marriage Island. Marriage Island is the home of over 300 weddings a year here on the shores of the river. And legend has it, if you're married on Marriage Island, your marriage will last forever. If you don't believe that, you can ask me, because I've been there 4 times. Now last weekend I was reading an article on Marriage Island, and the author of that article tried to contact as many people as he could locate who had been married there. He was attempting to calculate the divorce rate. Now we all know the divorce rate in the U.S. is roughly 50%. But according to this author, he calculated the divorce rate on Marriage Island as only 14%. I think that's pretty awesome. That little heart-shaped piece of land right there on the shores of the San Antonio River. Now this tall building here to my left was built in 1927, originally known as the Smith-Young Tower. The developer, Smith & Young, thought by adding the gargoyles you see at the very top of the building, which are part of the original rain collection system, they thought those gargoyles would bring them good luck and ward off bad business. Well, unfortunately, they were wrong, because Smith & Young lost this building to bankruptcy during the Depression. And after that, it was sold to the Tower Life Insurance Company, renamed the Tower Life Building. Now, back to those gargoyles on top. Folks, anybody on board see the original movie Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
None of it was filmed here. I also want to call your attention, if you look over these arched windows, that ledge right above the arched windows, you'll see a series of 4 repeating ugly faces up there. That's known as grotesque architecture. Now, the reason behind grotesque architecture is to keep evil spirits out of that building. But folks, this building, it didn't work. This building is full of evil spirits. They're called attorneys.
Esa es la casa. Esa era la casa.
Now, if you look back over my left shoulder, back towards the Tower Life Building, you notice it looks like a big ship coming down the San Antonio River. Now, this building straight in front of us is the Bexar County Courthouse, B-E-X-A-R, built in the late 1800s out of native red limestone and granite. It's the oldest continuously operated county courthouse out of all 254 counties here in the state of Texas. We're fixing to come through floodgate number 4. If you'll notice the shiny metal inserts left